From the John Fredericks Radio Network and the John Fredericks Radio app, thanks for being with us today. We're live in New Jersey. Our Open America Tour continuing. Thanks for being with us. We're in Spring Lake, New Jersey. Tony Angelini, Job Creators Network, business owner here in Spring Lake, owns 3 businesses. And Tony Angelini has opened up her cleaners, which has been shuttered, the Starlight Cleaners. We're here with her live. Also, Senator Bob Singer is with us, state senator from here in Monmouth County, Republican. And we've got Mike Jensen, who is backed by popular demand. Mike is a realtor in the area. We met him last night, and he's got something to say about this whole thing. I want to thank Tony for hosting this for us. I want to thank also our great hotel that we're staying at there. This is fabulous. It's kind of a condo-tel. It's a condominium that are hotel rooms. And if you ever get down to Monmouth County or you're in the New Jersey Shore area, the Hotel Hewitt Wellington. Hotel Hewitt, that's Hewitt Wellington. Absolutely fabulous place, and I'm enjoying it immensely, Hotel Wellington, and thank you for that. Thank you for everybody that is here helping us out, trying to bring the word back. Our Open America Tour continuing. Join our Facebook group, Open America. Just go to Facebook, Open America. Join our group for that. We're Facebook Live as well. Thank you for being with us. Our tour continues as we go into the deep blue lockdown whack job areas. Today, the last 3 days in New Jersey with this tyrannical governor, Murphy. And then Monday will be in New York City on Monday at the Newsmax headquarters where de Blasio is. And we will go from there. Tuesday in Wilmington as our tour continues around the United States. I know I'm making a difference because Mediaite, the website, the left-wing website, blasted me yesterday in a 2,500-word story saying that I was fomenting. I was the leading talk radio host in America that was leading the opposition to the lockdowns. So
congratulations,
obviously
That's
we're
awesome.
making a difference when the liberal media is calling you out. And actually they tried to make the article negative, but I sent it out because it ended up being a great piece. So it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, good to have you with us. I love the spirit I found in Monmouth County. I was so depressed after 2 days in Cape May. I couldn't get any of the politicians on except for the mayor, who's a beast. Everybody else bailed on me, including your new Congressman, Jeff Van Drew, who I set the whole thing up for. He was supposed to come on Thursday live. He didn't show. He was supposed to call in Friday, cancels. He had 8 hours. Your friend and state senator down there,
Mike Tester.
He was the co-chairman of Trump. I was the chairman of Virginia. He had 2 days to get on. I'm on 8 hours over 2 days. He lives 10 minutes away. Didn't come. He didn't call. He cancels. And they're all afraid of your governor. Well, now we've got state senator. Oh, I forgot your name.
Bob Singer.
Bob Singer,
Bob
right?
Singer
so
in
much
the
of my
house.
paper.
We're interconnected here,
My
by the way.
goodness.
Tony's dad and
Let
my
me see,
son
Bob
work
Singer.
together
Here
at
we
the
go.
prosecutor's office.
Senator Bob Singer. Okay,
right.
got it.
We have kind of a connection with Tony, and I served in the legislature with her mom. So
Bob, how long you been at it,
I
Bob?
forgot the freeholder.
My mother was an assemblywoman.
too many years. Too many years.
You guys, this Monmouth County, you guys have inspired me.
Look. Let me share one thing.
You guys are
You
tough.
inspire us, and I'll tell you
thank
why.
you.
That's awesome.
I listen to the calls. I'm on there, and you try to listen. They talk about the science. This is not rocket science about some things. If we don't have daycare open, if we don't have summer camp, we don't have schools open, people can't come back to work. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. So number one, we got to open that up. But second of all, what's bothering me the most is, we've got to realize that Main Street USA, which is in every town in New Jersey, these people are going broke. My barber called me up crying. He's been in business 44 years in Howell Township, and he's going broke. Now, they can figure it out. You can get a haircut. You can go to a nail salon. They can figure it out. You can go to a local store. They can open up. Think about it. A Dick's Sporting Goods can't open, but a ShopRite can. I mean, you can buy a candy dish at Walmart, but I can't buy something locally. You can go to Target and buy clothing. I can't open a local clothing store. Businesses know how to fix it. Real estate business know how to fix it. They all know how to fix it. Let them do it sensibly. No one's telling them to do them crazy, but let them open up. Let's outside dining open up. Let limited inside open up. Let's start to get back to people earning a living. You know, they keep forgetting about the fallout of mental illness, of drug addiction, of alcoholism, all the problems they're hiding. You know, we talk about the death numbers and things like that. You know, 600,000 people a year in this country die of cancer. What a horror. No one died of cancer in the state in the last 3 months.
Exactly.
I mean, we're playing a little bit with numbers, and you know, we saw it happen in Minneapolis. What a horror. No one is defending that or can defend that. You know, as I said to you, my son's a detective. Tony's dad, God bless him, served. No one is defending it. That's a horror. But rioting and burning down, that's just frustration in the wrong direction. And we have to be careful of that because people are getting angry. People are getting mad. And the last thing I'll just mention, because I know you got both things to say, when someone goes into a store without a mask, people chase them down the block.
Staten Island, that happened.
What are we becoming? Mm-hmm. We're becoming the police of watching other people. We're so worried if you don't have a mask on, if I have a mask on, if you want your mask on, fine. If I don't, I'm not contaminating you. I'm not coming and kissing you. I mean, we have really gone the other way. And again, let Main Street open up. Let businesses open up. Daycares have to open up. Summer camps have to happen. Graduation. I mean, I heard him today, the governor, and I like the governor. I get along very well with him. That's very lovely. But he says we have 39 days to figure out graduation. You got a football field. You can't figure it out. You got stands on both sides. So if it's a big class, let them do one in the morning, one in the afternoon. We have to wait to figure that out.
Unbelievable.
It's frightening.
Well, and the ratting people out, the 1-800 rat out your neighbor line. I mean, this is like KGB USA. It's unbelievable. We saw it with Catherine Hermes, and
it's un-American.
It is totally un-American.
Sure is.
Senator, you touched on mental health, and I said this early on. I said there's going to be the fallout from the mental health world and the suicide rates and the alcoholism and the child abuse and the spousal abuse is going to way outweigh the numbers of the death of coronavirus, and it's happening, and it's going to happen. I was doing a workout this morning on the beach, and a buddy of mine's son is a freshman in college, and he has to have some surgery. And he said today, you know what, he's not doing good. Like he's definitely, there's some type of little depression going on. So that's a serious issue that's not being talked about one bit. The effect on the suicide rates and people not being able to get out and do what they want to do and socialize. Being together is an important part of life.
And the impact is going to outlast whatever the impact of COVID has been.
Well, your mom knows about that.
She sure does.
Absolutely.
Because her agency can't get in to see their people enough. And they're losing people. I know they are. A friend of mine had one that just lost. What's bothering me about it is, take gyms. I go to the gym during the week, Howell Gym and Gold's Gym in Howell. Mark, I'm shout out to you, Mark, the owner there. Think about this. Where was there an epicenter in gyms? Because who goes to gyms?
Healthy people.
So they can't figure it out?
Unbelievable.
So
Healthy
think
people
about
go to
think
gyms.
about one other thing. Where is an epicenter in a college campus or in a school? There wasn't one because young people don't have the same problem. Now, you know what bothers me also? We're talking about, like we're saying to people, if we open up, you have to come. You seniors have to go there. Have you ever been to Home Depot lately at Target? What's the biggest crowd there?
Seniors.
So I'm saying that no one is making anybody go anyplace. If you're uncomfortable, God bless you, wear the mask. If you're uncomfortable, stay home. I want to protect you. I believe in that. I'm a senior. But again, you got to start to open up. You got to start to let businesses who know how to do things. Think about, my local dry cleaner is not open. Many of them are not. Why not? Car wash.
Why?
They can't
I'll
do
tell
the
you why
inside
not.
of your car?
Senator,
Why?
I'll tell you why not. We are, this location, Starlight Cleaners in Tuxedo and Spring Lake, is open with limited hours, but we're open. The only reason that we are open here is because I have a very loyal group of first responders, police officers and EMS workers who need their stuff cleaned, even more so than normal. But our revenue is down 90%.
Unbelievable.
And it is,
Tony, you know what bothers me about this? The phoniness. I'll just give you 3 examples that burn me beyond belief. De Blasio. I grew up in New York City. I was a New York City boy. He has ruined the city. But think about it. The audacity, he went to a gym. He needed that. We can't, but he did. The mayor of Chicago gets her hair done. She says she's concerned about her personal cleanliness. What about the rest of us?
Right.
Okay? And what about the governor of Michigan? Her husband wants to be first online.
Right.
You know,
to
I
go on a
look
boat
like, guys,
to
I look
Mackinac
like
Island
Gumby.
after she
You know, I mean,
specifically said you couldn't go to Mackinac Island.
Right. I mean, this is the imagine if a Republican, by the way, all three Democrats, imagine a Republican did that, that'd be on the front page of everything in the world. I mean, the answer I'm only saying to is that dry cleaners want to come back. I want to get my clothes clean. I want to get my stuff done. Why not? And business, people are waiting to come back to do business. We got to open up the state. People can do it safely. Every industry, real estate, small business, dry cleaners, hairdressers, barbershops, nail salons, they're going broke.
Right.
Restaurants, they're
Right.
going broke.
Right.
Speaking of opening up, I believe we still have Grace Hanlon on the line.
Yes, thank you, Grace.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for your patience here on the John Fredericks Show. I really appreciate it. Live in New Jersey in Spring Lake. Grace Hanlon, the former director of New Jersey tourism. Grace, tell me about amusement parks. I mean, when I lived in New Jersey, my older kids, I used to take them to Jackson. What was it called?
Great Adventure.
Great Adventure. Yes. We used to go to Great Adventure, and I remember we'd get up real early in the summer so we could be the first one in line. So we'd bring stuff to eat. We'd get in line, and so we could be the first one in and go on all the rides before the lines. What is going on in New Jersey with that industry?
Well, the concern with the amusement park industry is they don't have any date right now as to when they can open. Many of these businesses have been in generations for families. Steel Pier, Atlantic City,
Right.
Maurice Pier, Keansburg. These are family businesses, and they're in the business. Their expertise is safety. They have presented really great plans to the front office, to the governor. They're ready to open, and they're going to be completely crushed if they can't open soon. They might not come back. I mean, this is a very short window. It's an 8-week window for them to make money to hold them throughout the whole year. It's July and August. That's it. So they're really very, very frustrated right now that they don't feel like they're being heard. They took it on the chin like the restaurant industry. When the governor said close, they closed. It was hard. It was horrible. The impact of all these employees that got laid off, like we're saying on the phone, the mental illness, the depression, it's horrendous. So they're really desperate to get open. They have excellent plans in place, and we're really hoping that the governor's office will listen and get this moving sooner than later.
And summer jobs for the young people.
Sure.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, I wear so many different hats. I was the director of tourism, but I have a 28-year-old who just lost his job, and I've watched him go from a vibrant businessman to being locked in an apartment in Brooklyn. And I definitely see it took a toll on him. And I'm homeschooling my 5-year-old and wondering if, camp's going to open up this summer. And I am incredibly worried about the tourism industry, and I'm out there advocating for them every day. So
Unbelievable.
I hear
what
it
is going
all.
on here is just, the spirit of Monmouth County might be leading the nation as far as organized
And
resistance.
Ocean also. Ocean's
And
right
Ocean County,
Yeah.
because
Hankinson's down in Point Pleasant.
That's right.
I'm an amusement game operator. I knew for years. I know about that industry, and here is a perfect thing that they have a short window. They know how to do it safely. They will do it safely.
Yep.
It's outdoors, most of it. You got to open back up. You got to give these people an opportunity to make money. And again, these summer jobs to young people. I got a 21-year-old. We had to have graduation in our garage as people drove past the wave.
Unbelievable.
She just graduated from Penn State.
Just
My
unbelievable.
baby, 21-year-old baby. So.
we're with
Congratulations.
State Senator Bob Singer. We're with Tony Angelini. We're with Mike Jensen, real estate operator here in Monmouth County. We're in Spring Lake, New Jersey. Got a Facebook Live from Mike Watson in Williamsburg, Virginia, owner of Cat Lab, longtime advertiser in the John Fredericks Show. Says, I want to give a shout out to T Equipment, one of Cat Lab's absolute greatest clients from the great Monmouth County, New Jersey. So there you go. You got friends all over the place. No
All
question
roads
about
lead
it.
to Monmouth County.
All roads lead to
By
Monmouth
the way,
County.
we all feel the pain. You know, my middle daughter is an Imagineer with Disney in Orlando. She's a Purdue graduate and engineer.
Now they just opened up, right?
Well, she's still on furlough. She came back up to us right now because she's been on furlough for the last month and a half. But they haven't opened her division yet. But it's affecting everybody. Every
Right.
family's affected. Nobody escaped this. But again, what you're doing is saying nobody's saying do things risky. If you're uncomfortable, stay home. Do things safely. But every industry,
Right.
amusement game, real estate, doctors, dentists, they finally opened up. And again, the restaurant industry, the personal service industry, the small business and Main Street are going broke.
Well, Senator, when you ask the governor for metrics, like when you attempt to go to his office and say, what are you basing these decisions on? Because this was sold to us as flatten the curve so we don't overrun hospitals. No hospitals in New Jersey have been anywhere near overrun. Then it was ventilators. You're now shipping ventilators out of New Jersey. You're sending them to Spain, Italy, and other countries. So you don't need the ventilators. So what is the purpose? Has anybody asked him, like, what is the purpose of this? Other than my theory, which is justify a mail-in ballot, which he's doing, in order to keep the House in Democratic hands and win those swing districts in New Jersey and then get rid of Trump. What is the justification for destroying all these people's lives?
Well, first of all, they keep talking about the second wave. We don't know if there's going to be a second wave. I mean,
Right.
there
Well,
might
define
be,
a second one.
But
But define it. Like I keep asking everybody that says, well, we have to be concerned about a second wave. Define a second wave. Does that mean your hospitals get overrun? No. Does that mean people under 55 are dying? No. What is a second wave? It's whatever the media says it is, right? That's a second
But
wave.
the media is also forced to this too. You know, you talk.
Of course
about-
they are.
Yeah.
Look, I watch one of the channels I watch is Fox News. Okay.
Right.
They're still at home doing their shows. Why
Right.
aren't they on? Why
Right.
can't
They
they, be
need to get to
separated
the
in
set.
studio?
Right.
We've got it. People, they're making the public frightened.
Exactly.
Start to get into things, doing things. You know, I mean, if you listen to the medical aspect of things, we're never going to shake hands again.
Right.
Right.
We're never going to hug anybody again. This is the new norm. It's not the new norm in my world.
Exactly,
I
Senator.
mean,
Right.
we're still human beings.
Right.
Again, we're not saying to take risk. If you're at risk, stay home. You don't
Right.
want to go out. But the rest of us can do things sensibly, and you got to do it sensibly. The
Right.
problem is we keep getting these things. We don't want to rush into it. We'll announce it this week. We keep saying industries need time to get open. Why can't a car showroom is by appointment only? Why? I mean, think about the size of the car showrooms. They're huge.
Right.
They can't
Appointment
limit
only.
it.
I mean, that is so asinine.
I mean,
it has
it's-
nothing to do with spreading the
it
virus.
makes
It's
no
about
sense.
control, and it's about fear. I'm telling you, so they can get to a mail-in ballot. You look, Senator Singer, at just the fact that the mask issue. I live in Virginia, and an executive order started today, mandatory masks. The WHO, the WHO,
World Health Organization.
World Health Organization, just today, and I'm an anti-masker, just today came out and said masks should only be worn when taking care of people that have the virus. That's it. They said they don't do anything. But why do we have to have masks on? Fear. So that you see everybody walking
Well,
around
I
in a
grew up with the
mask.
Long Rangers, so masks
All
are
right.
kind of interesting.
Nobody smiles.
I always wanted to be Tonto.
It's depressing. They want to keep you, these governors like ours in Virginia and yours in New Jersey, they want to keep you upset. They want to keep you afraid so that Murphy can do what he just did, which is say, well, we can't choose between voting and dying, so I'm going to take my executive power, change the electoral system in New Jersey on my own, and mail everybody a ballot to their resident address, and that's their plan. And so the purpose of that is to manipulate that system so they can keep the seat in Morris County. They can maybe oust Jeff Van Drew and Kate May. They keep some of the swing districts and then get rid of
Well,
Trump.
you know, they're going to have this
That's
problem
why they're doing it.
for the primary, but the general, I think, is to be opened up. Again, what's bothering me is we keep asking for the science. And we're asking for a select committee. The Senate president has just mentioned that. There's going to be a select committee to look at this entire thing. I'm going to be on it. The Senate president appointed some Republicans. I'm one of it. But because I am the deputy minority leader. The real factor we have to understand is common sense has to prevail. People have common sense in this state. People understand things. But if business does not get back, we are going to be in the worst shape. You cannot imagine the shape we're being in. People cannot live on unemployment. People cannot function on that. Not going to work every day. Not
Well, the
having a
money
place to
runs
go.
out, Senator.
But not just that. It's you have the mental health. We're saying like it's nothing. If you sit home every day, it destroys you. It destroys you. You've got to get back out to do things that people want to do. And I'll tell you, the young people, with the fact is colleges, the Big Ten, because my daughter's at Penn State, the Big Ten, Rutgers is part of that. The Big Ten are coming back. They're announcing they're coming back. Purdue said we're going to have school, and I'm waiting to hear what Rutgers is going to do.
Are they going to have
Seton
football?
Hall. My
Are they
son's
going to have
going to Seton
football?
Hall,
I mean,
and they announced that they're
Are they going to have
back.
football?
You've got to come back, and they're going to have football. You heard that in Florida they're going to have football.
Senator, how many kids you have?
4.
Wow, you just keep
I
on coming.
I'm always on the wrong side. I have 3 daughters. I'm never right. and I have 1 daughter in New York. And look, I cover a lot of things. I told you I have a son who's a lieutenant in the prosecutor's office. I have a daughter who works for Touro College in Manhattan. She's a survivor of a suicide bombing where 14 people died. So I've lived through that. I understand that a little bit as survivors of terrorism. And I've got two other daughters. One, I said, just graduated Penn State. She's got a job. Fortunately, she's going to work for Bank of America in New York when they open up this summer. And my other daughter is an engineer, and she's an Imagineer with Disney, and she's on furlough right now. But I see the gamut of it. I see the problems that young people have. I see the problems that families have. I have, God willing, I have 3 grandchildren, and what's going to happen with camp and what's going to happen with all these other things like that. These are real life problems. And you know what? We've only said to the governor, people aren't rich. They're working people. They live paycheck to paycheck. We've got to give them the opportunity to get back. We've got to get the opportunity for people to be able to have daycare, summer camp. You've got to announce these things. They can't turn on a dime. And what is happening is there's no place to put your children, no school, no nothing. What's going to happen?
There's a bigger picture here, you guys. All of the podcasts and the interviews that have been taken down on social media is totally out of control. I don't know what's going on with that. It's been there's a lot of the podcast guys are getting on their own platform, so things are not being taken down. Where are we with that? I mean, this is really, really getting bad.
There's a lot of policing going on the internet, and I had posted the video of the 2 doctors in California that were. They held a press conference and they expressed their observations in some sort of like an emergency clinic, and they got scrubbed from the internet, and they were medical professionals with an opinion that differed from the narrative that is supposed to be out there and being promoted, and they just disappeared, and I got some notification that I was in Facebook jail. So there has to be an appetite to receive information from all sides, from everybody in the country, so that we can be well informed. Yesterday you had to wear masks everywhere you went. Today, the World Health Organization, who's been at this longer than we have here in New Jersey, now they're saying no masks. So the goalpost keeps moving with the science, and it's going to happen. I understand that, but from a public policy perspective, we have to be able to move with it, and we're not moving with it in New Jersey.
Yeah,
we
but
are
fake
stuck.
news doesn't help us. I mean, Blasio says you can go surfing, but you can't swim. Explain
Right.
that logic to me. I mean,
Well, there's no logic.
I mean, you can't go on a
Because
beach.
there's no logic, Senator, because this is not about keeping people safe or not getting the virus. This is about control, mail-in ballots, getting rid of Trump. That's why we're driving ourselves bananas trying to find a logic string to
when all
this.
else fails, you become a racist. Remember that. If you disagree, you become a racist. In any item, if you're on the side of that, that's the new norm.
And they start yelling louder.
Yeah, they yell louder because you don't care about it. Now, look, I've sat on the Senate Health Committee my entire time in the legislature, and we realize there's been a terrible problem with minority health care. We've put money into it, we work on it, and it's something we have to continue to work on, because if you noticed that the most amount of disproportionate amount of deaths are in the minority community. We care about that. We all care about that. One death is one death too many. I don't argue that at all.
Right.
But that's been a long time problem. That's not a new problem that came around last week.
Right.
And we have to continue to work on it. But it goes to poor eating habits.
Right.
It goes to lack of going to doctors.
Right.
And by the way, there are FQHCs, federally funded health clinics in Newark and all
Right.
around that provide quality health care for anybody who wants to, and you don't have to pay a cent if you don't have any money.
Right.
So there are talking about good eating habits and obesity. By the way, one of the biggest killers of this disease are people with obesity. Big problem. Let's talk about that. Let's look at this board. Let's work on those. But let's not think if that's not the priority that we don't care. It is one of the many priorities. We care
Right.
about every life and every person, and we have to put time and money into the minority community to fix what is wrong there. But in general, fixing what is wrong starts with people getting back to work.
Oh, that's going to be number one. I'm going to give Grace Hanlon, former tourism director of New Jersey, the final word for this segment. Grace, how do we get out of this?
I think we have to get out there and support our mom and pop industries. I think we need to have a full-blown phone calls, campaigns to the governor's office, support the good legislators who are on the phone right now, and put tremendous pressure on them for change, because it's going to be the squeaky wheel that's going to help get us out of this. Tourism is a $5.1 billion industry to New Jersey, and it could very well fail this summer if we don't let people go into the retail shops, go in and buy their coffee. All these little mom and pop businesses can go under, and they won't come back. Every day we don't allow indoor dining in restaurants, we're going to lose a restaurant forever. I feel like saying, outdoor dining is great for restaurants, but it's just a little Band-Aid on a huge bleed. I mean, with the weather, if it's raining, if it drizzles, if they think it's going to rain, these restaurants are going to lose their outdoor dining reservations, and their food's going to go bad that night. So we really have to support them. We really have to start calling the governor's office and be a very loud, united voice.
Does he
And that's
care
my 2
what
cents.
you say, Grace?
Absolutely.
I mean, this guy's a dictator, drunk on this power. I mean, he basically said, it's just, I saw him on TV the other day before I came up here, and somebody asked him, well, when are you going to get to phase 2 or phase 3 or something? And he says, when I decide. Like, there's no metrics. I'll decide that. Like, who the hell does this guy think he is? God?
Yeah, well,
Unbelievable. So he
that to
doesn't
me
care
is
what you
it's
say.
unacceptable.
You can call him up a million times. This guy. The only thing, Grace, that he cares about is when you throw him out of office, November 2021. That's all they react to. So get him out. That's my advice. Figure out how to get him out of there and send that message. I got to go. Grace, thank you.
Thank you,
for
everybody.
this segment. We're live in New Jersey in Spring Lake in Monmouth County.